Shout out to all the Hidden Pearls podcast fans, friends, and followers. Bruce Kittle here, coming at you with another Mindful Monday on this September 6, 2021. So today I want to talk a little bit about finding calmness in the midst of anxiety and stress. As we all know, this world places a lot of demands on us, and often as individuals, we place incredibly high expectations on ourselves. That is to be better, to do better, to achieve these high and lofty goals we have for ourselves, which is all great, but again, it can end up in this stress. Now, this is especially true in the world of high and peak performance, particularly in the sports arena, but also just in life in general. Because when we experience a gap between what our vision is, what we think we want to be doing, and then what our current reality is, and then we're trying to make up the difference in that gap, this can give rise to that stress and anxiety. So what do we do when we find ourselves caught up in that? Well, I got 4 steps here to give you some thoughts. Step 1 is finding what I call neutral, finding neutral. So for me, when I get busy, I can find kind of the RPMs in my world, that is my mind and my body. I start to rev up as I accelerate through life, trying to get more and more stuff done. So how do you go about finding your own neutral? It'll be different for everybody, but here are things that work for me. So when this starts to happen, I use my mindfulness tools to find the neutral, and I've talked about those. There's 8 tools, and I'm going to hit on a couple of them here that I think are really important. The first is conscious awareness, and this is why we practice mindfulness, is that before I can do anything about my situation, I must first be aware of it. I got to see it, and I know this is happening. So kind of like out of body, I'm seeing, wow, I'm getting really wound up in this, and then checking into that. The second thing is once I'm aware of it and I've decided I want to do something about it, then I'm working to control my breath. So 2 or 3 or 4 deep breaths, maybe a breath box, kind of doing some of those things, whatever it is that works for you. And going back to the breath, then for me, it's always a way for me to find my center, to kind of get grounded and to slow things down. Once I've been able to do that, then the third thing I do in this is it leads to this calming of the mind. I literally just let all of the breath as I exhale, take all of the stress, anxiety away, and I try to release that with each exhale. So through this awareness and breath, I can usually pretty quickly calm my mind down, I slow things down, and I get myself back to living in the present moment, not thinking about things to do or what's happening in the future or anything in the past, just being right here, right now. All right, then step 2, then create a vision. Well, what do you mean by that, Bruce? Well, once I've found my neutral and I've calmed down, my mind is good, I got my breath back under control, the RPMs have kind of gone back down, I want to create a vision in my mind of who I need to be in this moment. How do I want to think? What's my process? What do I want my body to feel like? How do I want to show up in this moment? Again, not so much particularly about doing, although that can come in. It's more about how I want to be, okay? And so that's the work that we're trying to get to there, okay? And this is kind of what we talk about as value alignment, right? That's that process. So we talk about those 4 steps that we talk about in planning, and one of those is how I want to show up, and this is that piece. Okay, then step 3, once I've got created the vision, for me, I offer gratitude. So entering into a place of gratitude for having greater clarity, finding calmness, having my breath. When I offer gratitude for the vision that's been created in this moment of clarity, it becomes more effectively realized when I give thanks for this awareness, breath, and my neutral. That's where the calm is. This gratitude then connects my thoughts to reality and helps them move in that direction. And then finally, step 4 is, because we still do have to do some things, take the first step. So once I'm in neutral and I have my vision and giving thanks, I then break down my first objective into small steps. I focus on taking that one step, that one small step that's going to help me move me forward. And always trying to be conscious of who I am being in that moment. Again, value alignment. I do that one step without any fear or worry about the next step after that. But once I feel like I've gotten to that point, whatever the next smallest step is, I take that and I just repeat it. And I just try to stay present in this moment, doing this thing with intention and deliberate, and do the very best I can in it. So there you go. I hope this helps you work through with and maybe possibly even avoid some of the stress and anxiety that is eventual in all of our lives. And I'm wishing you a very mindful week of living with less stress, less anxiety, connected to your mind and body, and living fully in the present moment to your very fullest. Have a great week. Thanks.